Hey everybody, good morning. Good morning and welcome to Monday Morning Coaching. Happy Monday to you all. I'm so excited you guys are here. So this morning, I want to talk to you guys and just ask a question. Are you a dreamer or are you a visionary? Are you a dreamer or are you a visionary? And I have to admit that this particular Monday Morning Coaching hit a little different for me because um I had so let me tell y'all, every coach should have a coach. Let's just start right there. Every coach should have a coach, right? And so I was on a call with my coach and she asked this question because I was going, I'm doing all the things. I'm putting all the systems together. I'm putting all the tactics together to build my personal brand, to build my coaching, but it's moving a little slow and I'm wondering if I need to adjust this and to adjust this. And she said, well, what's your vision? And I said, what? She said, Rashida, are you a visionary or are you just a dreamer? No, I had said, well, my dream is to, build it to this by the end of the year and then build it to this. And she said, well, are you a dreamer or are you a visionary? Challenge accepted. And so I said, well, I want to believe I'm a visionary. She said, you want to believe you're a visionary, but you keep talking about your dreams. I said, okay. And I started really pondering this and I went to journaling and I'll share this with y'all. Y'all, this is my personal journal. And I was journaling the other day after she asked me that question. And I was like, well, that is really interesting. And so y'all know me, I nerded out and geeked out on that one question. And so I want to share that with you all on my own personal discovery this weekend, being challenged by my coach to ask me, are you a dreamer or are you a visionary? Right? Dreamers are people who see things as they wish they were to be, but not willing to make the effort or do the actions to accomplish them. I'm going to say that again. Dreamers are people who see things as they wish they were, but are not willing to do the actions or to make the effort to accomplish them. Visionaries, on the other hand, are people who see things as they could be and work hard, go into action mode to see those things accomplished. Visionaries are people who see things as they could be and go into action mode and to do the work so that those things can be accomplished. Here's the interesting thing I noted when I looked up the definition of visionaries and dreamers. Visionaries and dreamers both see things. Visionaries and dreamers both see the future. They both see it in their imagery, in their imagination. They both have the power to use the visual mental pictures in their mind to see what could be, to see what the future look like. Do you all see it? Do you see what this fourth quarter is going to look like? Do you see what 2025 is going to look like? Do you see your bank account growing? Do you see that promotion happening? Do you see your business being started up again? Do you see it? I made a note here in my journal. The interesting thing about this definition is that visionaries and dreamers both see. Here's the difference that I noted between people who are dreamers and people who are visionaries. Visionaries are going to put blinders on And they're going to focus only on that thing. And then they are going to do the work to take what they saw and then find the behavior or the actions that align with what they saw. That is really the only difference, y'all, between being a visionary and a dreamer. If you want to know how people are getting things accomplished, it is because they are in action mode. They saw it. They imagined it. And then they said, what behavior does it take for me to get this accomplished? That is really the only difference between the visionaries and the dreamers. What behavior does it take for me to get this accomplished? So I want to ask you a question. What will your fourth quarter look like if it's everything that you wanted it to be? What does this last quarter look like if it's everything that you wanted it to be? What imagery is in your mind right now about October, November, December that you know you want to get done? And it doesn't have to be big and grandiose, but you need to be able to impress yourself. What do you see? Now I want to ask you, what behavior do I need to engage in October, November, and December that's going to align with what I saw? That's really, it's not deep and it's not heavy. The problem is that when it comes to the action part of the visionary, of what we saw, when it comes to the action part of what we saw, this is what differentiates visionaries from dreamers. Because visionaries are going to stick with the wish, and the visionaries are going to see the wish and they're going to get into action mode. Dreamers are going to wish, but they're not going to be willing to move. They're not willing to take action. They're not willing to do the work. They wish they could that this grandiose what they saw could be accomplished, but they're not willing to do the work to get it accomplished. That is the only difference between you and I and people who accomplish their goals. They see it and they get to work. And yes, sometimes they fail. And yes, sometimes people will say you look stupid. And yes, sometimes people will mock you. Do you not know that that's part of the journey? The mockery is part of the journey. The key is part of the journey. The she looked like a fool is part of the journey. I'm not going to buy her stuff. It's part of the journey. People coming to sabotage. Y'all, I had somebody who wanted to hire me as their coach. Do you not know that they called somebody who don't like me and that person told them, I got somebody else for you? And I found out about it. That it happens. It's part of the journey, but you don't stop. You don't stop. So now that we know the difference between being a dreamer and a visionary, let me give you Bible, because now as Christians, we should be able to put the supernatural on our natural. I want you guys to write this scripture down on an index card, on a post-it note, on your notes app, in your phone. Make it your screen share. This is your scripture to meditate on this year, to this week, to get into action mode. I'm challenging myself to do the same thing. This is our scripture for the week. Somebody put it in the comments. It is Philippians 2:13. Philippians 2:13. Here it is. And then I'm reading out of the New Living Translation for a reason, because I like this version. It says, for God is working in you, giving you the desire and the power to do what pleases him. Philippians 2:13, New Living Translation version. You can do King James and all one, but I thought New Living Translation was very powerful. For God is working in you, giving you the desire and the power to do what pleases him. Write it down, get it down. Somebody put it in the comments. Philippians 2:13. Now that we know, now we have decided that we are either dreamers or visionaries. And now we have a scripture to anchor ourselves in this week. I want to ask you a question. Do you believe that God is able to carry your vision to fruition? Do you believe that the vision that you just came up with, do you believe that God is able to help you bring the vision to fruition? Here is what I want you guys to anchor yourself in for this last quarter. James 2:17, write that one down as well. Faith by itself, if it is not accompanied by action, is dead. That's James 2:17. Faith by itself, if it is not accompanied by action, it is dead. We know this scripture. Faith without works is dead. We know this. So go back to being a visionary or dreamer, because dreamers dream, but they're not willing to do the work. Visionaries see it and then take their behavior and put it around what they see. Faith, and with us being Christians, faith with the work creates the vision. I believe God and I'm willing to do the work. Faith by itself, if it is not accompanied by action, it is dead. So it is your faith and vision have to be inseparable, y'all. My faith and my vision has to be inseparable. Faith is what's going to produce the vision. Action is what's going to produce the vision. Vision is faith in application. Vision is faith in application. We cannot dream dreams about God and having faith in God if we're not willing to do the work. Why? Because it is God who has put in us the desire and the power to do his work, according to Philippians 2:13. Your vision is not based on your talents. Your vision is based on your action married to God's power, to God's ability. Your vision has to be based on your behavior, your actions married to God's ability. It is not our ability that is going to determine the vision. It's God's. God's going to empower us to do the thing that we have a vision to do. He just provides us with the power and the desire to do it. Now, this is just for believers. You have to believe that God has the power and he's put the power in you to make that vision come to pass. All right. I just want to know, do you believe him? Because if you don't, then you're a dreamer. Or if you don't believe God and you're just going in action, eventually you're going to just burn yourself out and go in circles. Either God is able to do what he said he would do. Either God is able to help you with your vision or he's not. Either he's God or he's not. And if you believe that he is able, then you do not have to have a puny vision. You don't have to have small plans. Your vision of the future is determined by your faith that God is the one that's going to empower you to get the future accomplished. You are the instrument. God is the power. You are the car. God is the engine. You are the plane. God is the pilot. Are we clear? So if you are going to accomplish anything the end of this year, and it's not too late, if you put your blinders on, go back to your vision and only do the behaviors that will accomplish your goals and your visions from now until the end of the year, you will get the thing you want accomplished, and you will come out of being a dreamer and go into being a visionary. Okay? So here's your scripture again. Philippians 2:13. I want you to hang on to this all week. For God is working in me. I want you to say that. For God is working in me, giving me the desire and the power to do what pleases him. For God is working in me, giving me the desire and the power to do what pleases him. Philippians 2:13, New Living Translation version. If you are going to stop being a dreamer and move to a visionary, you have to cast the vision, and then you have to do what James 2:17 says. For faith by itself, if it is not accompanied with action, it is dead. For faith by itself, if it is not accompanied with action, it is dead. One more time. For faith by itself, if it is not accompanied with action, it is dead. Visionaries are people who see things as they could be and get into action mode and do the work to see those things accomplished. We must come out of being dreamers and move to become visionaries. And visionaries do the work. Visionaries work while they are walking by faith. Visionaries put their plans on the table, turn their plans over to God, and ask God to empower them to accomplish it for their will. Visionaries are willing to make mistakes in their behavior, but they don't take their eyes off of what they saw. Visionaries are willing to be mocked. Visionaries are willing to be talked about. Visionaries are willing to be called crazy. Isn't that what Steve Jobs said? Steve Jobs says it's the crazy people who dream of changing the world, and they do. When Nehemiah was building the wall in Israel, he was mocked. Read the book of Nehemiah. Nehemiah was mocked for building a wall. He had a vision, he saw it, and Sanballat and Tobiah mocked Nehemiah for building the wall. They called him stupid, they called him crazy, they said he was off his rocker, and they would walk by the wall while Nehemiah was building it, laughing at him and mocking him. And guess what? Nehemiah never stopped building the wall. He built the wall for his city. Do you have Nehemiah type faith? Are you willing to build that career? Are you willing to build that business? Are you willing to build up your faith? Are you willing to build a better body? Are you willing to apply for the loan? Are you willing to apply for the job? What vision do you have? Coupled with action and behavior are you going to accomplish this quarter for the glory of God? For it is God who is working in you and giving you the desire and the power to do what pleases him. Y'all, my coach got me the other day when she asked, Rashida, are you a dreamer or are you a visionary? And that was all I needed to put fuel under my behind to get myself going. So I want you all to be visionaries. I want you to get excited and believe God for the great things you are about to accomplish for his glory. Visionaries are always thinking about how they can reach their goal and how they can do the thing. Okay. So I don't want you to be dreamers anymore. I want you to become visionaries. And visionaries do the work. Okay, y'all. Oh, thank God. This was so good. This was so good. It really lit a fire under me and I wanted to share it with y'all. I hope this was helpful for y'all today. I'm looking forward to the visions that you all are going to put together for this last quarter. What do you see yourself doing? And then what are the actions that you are going to do? What's the behavior you're going to engage in to see that vision come to pass? Because it is God that is working in you and giving you the desire to do what pleases him. All right, y'all. I will see y'all next Monday. Have a blessed week. Share this with somebody. Invite them to the group. I'll see y'all next week. Have a great one. Bye-bye.